Oh, that was cool. I don't know if that thumbs up showed up. Hey guys, hello peoples. Um, I decided why not record a breakdown before I go into work. Sorry, I'm looking at myself like on my monitor. But the camera's like right here. My name is Sukaina. Um, Honestly, I don't know what else to say. Let's just get into the breakdown. Yeah. Well, actually, so I'm not a teacher or nothing, okay? I'm like novice in my journey. We're working towards profitability. I am at no grand stage. I'm not even funded, but these are the trades I took on my current funded challenge. So, okay. So, this is EU. These are the screenshots that I have journaled this morning. So this was my first position that I took a loss on, and my second position that ended up hitting TP. Now, for that first trade, let's actually just wind it back to right here. It was around here that I took my first position. So going on the daily, I can see that price has been moving pretty bullish, pretty strong to the upside, but currently we are in a rejection with this weekly order block that we have aligned right here. On the 4-hour, you can see it's pure consolidation. We are having trouble creating higher highs around here, but as you go into the 1-hour, we can start to see some structure to the upside. Now, because we are in a ranging state, when price is looking like that, I look to trade the Judas swing, meaning I look for price to sweep highs and lows and look to catch a trade to its opposing liquidity. So coming into my session, why did price go back? Am I bugging? Yeah, okay. Looking back where I was, this was my thought process of going into this first position right here. So on the 1-hour, you can see that we've aggressively broken highs into this Asian low. Now, being that it's an Asian low, it's a session level, I tend to look to trade the Judas swing at those. Seeing that price was struggling to continue running, you can see here on the M15 we've displaced higher and traded right back into the range. So on the 5-minute, I'm seeing this sort of candle reversal. Honestly, to completely admit, I believe I was pushing too hard towards trying to predict price versus trading what it's telling me that it's doing. Because here I'm thinking, all right, I usually look to trade the Judas swing at session highs and lows. Here we are trading outside of Asian range at the Asian high and trading right back in to that range. What could we be seeking? We could be seeking this fair value gap left here on the M15 embedded with this mitigation block, and on the 1-hour it'll just look like an order block. So I'm like, all right, we have reason to maybe, right, to maybe trade down there. So here I go to the 1-minute. This is typically where I look for my reversal pattern to happen between the M5 and the 1-minute. So I'm looking here, I see that this is where we trade out of the Asian range, displace out, then we displace right back in. I say displace because here we formed a fair value gap. You can see price traded back into it aggressively. Well, tried to, but we didn't, right? Why I didn't see this fair value gap as a high probability fair value gap is because, well, first of all, I wanted more confirmation that we were going to trade to the downside. And I wanted to see if we were going to form another fair value gap after rejecting the first one, but we didn't, right? So here I'm like, okay, I back off. I'm just gonna let price form, see if it gives me something else. Here we displace again out of this high, above this high right here. Now we're going for this high. Okay, we ended up sweeping it, displace out of it, then we displace back into that range. So that's when I'm like, okay, maybe price is ready to go, blah blah blah. I place my entry right here, stop at 1 to 2 around so, and then boom. Hold on. Yeah, actually that was not my entry, cap, that was not my entry. I actually had my entry right here. Yeah, that's cap. Okay, yeah, I had my entry right here, but I was monitoring this 1 minute fair value gap. Although it's not all that strong, this is the fair value gap that is allowing me to enter. Well, I'm allowing myself to enter, but you get the point. Right, so we trade back into that, we just end up consolidating. That's when I'm like, oh damn. Usually now at that point I know my position is a low probability one because we are not forming a fair value gap after mitigating into this one. So I'm like, okay, this is FA, but I'm gonna let it run, you know, what do I have to lose? My risk is managed, and kaboom, we are gone. We are out. Okay, honestly, I felt I was okay emotionally after that loss, I think, because I went according to my plan. I was wrong. That's pretty much what it was. I was just wrong. Price ended up going higher, and we're about to look into that right now. This whole time I'm sitting in front of my desk. It's taking forever for me to see something that I actually like. Typically, I mark the I did not mean, okay, whatever. I did not mean to do that, but I think it's okay. I want to see where exactly, okay, yeah, so this is at the low. It was this low that I ended up buying off of. We come to this low. It is the 9 a.m. low, by the way, also known as the silver bullet, whatever you call it. So I go to the 1 minute, which is where I wait for my setup. We trade inside of the 1 minute. Created a beautiful reversal formation, right? Had fair value gaps on both sides, managed to close above this high, and that's pretty much all it really took for me to enter, for it to happen at this specific low. Since I guess this specific strategy is a time-based strategy, so it's really, we get to this point and I'm like, it either happens or not. Sometimes it hits to stop, most times it hits take profit. So here, place my entry at the start of the imbalance, my stop right here. Usually with this strategy you target the 9 a.m. high, but I am settling for 1 to 2 and we hit. I'm at this weird point of my career where, first of all, I'm taking a challenge, but I'm coming to the realization with the way that I manage my risk and the way that I manage my trades, I am never going to get to, well, I could get to that target, just 10% target, just at a very long time. So I'm like, I need to risk more, because when I take a losing trade, I cut my risk in half. And then if I go on a losing streak, well, usually when I cut my risk in half, I kept it at a quarter percent. I kept it at a quarter percent, and that is very small. Like 0.5% is already small, but a quarter percent. So I'm switching to keeping 0.5% as my lowest risk, possibly in case I go on like a losing streak or whatever. I mean, if I lose the challenge, I lose the challenge, but I am at a point where I'm trying to be more of a risk on trader, not open risk, right? Not open myself to risk on the chart or trading when I shouldn't be trading, but putting on size when I know it's time to put size. Because my problem is I get really comfortable in risking baby sizes, like very comfortable, to a point where it's like the challenge isn't moving. Cool. Once I have that funded account, I can trade that way, but I know that in order to pass it, it's not really gonna serve me. So yeah, I mean, right now it's just, I'm just trying to get better. Like, there's still a lot going on in the industry. I want to switch over to futures. I'm learning that right now. Ramadan ended not that long ago. For the month of Ramadan, I kind of like fell off for my trading because I was focused on other things, clearly. But I mean, my priorities were straight, but it's just that I fell off in terms of studying and trading. I was not actively trading. Like, my work schedule was just not letting me, to a point where I'm not even half asleep in front of it. Like, I'm not even awake at my desk. So fell off, haven't traded, haven't really studied, and that was my fault, my responsibility. But I'm starting to get back into the groove. You feel me? We're grooving. Okay? So I'm just worried about getting better, taking better losses, right? Like green losses, to a point, like losses where you followed your rules, you followed everything, you did what you were supposed to do, but it's just like a just loss, versus the losing trades where it's like you lose it and then you're like, why did I do that? And you feel shitty, like you don't even feel like being, like I take those two different losses it affects me emotionally. So yeah, I'm just trying to do better. But yeah,